All right, peace and blessings, family. It's been such a long time since I have been on StreamYard. It's been a minute, Big Rob. Ty here.
Yeah.
We we here, family. Big Rob, you good, brother?
Yes, sir.
Well, our guest today is a young man out of Orlando, Florida, business owner, community activist, played a very important role in and returning citizens getting their right to vote. Has his own cleaning company. Is an inspiration to a lot of the youth around Central Florida, and he's a rising star here in Orlando. A brother who wasn't gonna get that vaccine until something happened, and he changed his mind. We're going to hear his story. We want to welcome to the show, Marquis McKenzie. How you doing today, good brother?
I'm blessed, Paul. How about yourself? Always a good time to be with you guys.
Man, Blacknificent, feeling real good. Feeling real good, man. So, you caught the virus.
Yes, sir.
How long ago, man?
So to be exact, I had on July 2nd is when I tested positive for it.
And what was that experience like, man? Was you asymptomatic or did you have some symptoms?
To be honest with you, I felt like I had a normal cold. And on a regular, I would actually go get tested for COVID. Because I knew I wasn't vaccinated, so I go twice, sometimes 3 times out the month, depending on what type of activity I've been around. And I was like, you know what, I ain't have a COVID test. Let me go take one, and I took it. And it came back positive, and I was shocked. I was depressed. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I knew I was healthy, but I still didn't know what the possibility was and how my body was going to react to it.
Did anybody else in your household get it?
No, not until afterwards. And this is what, even after I recovered, I'm dealing, just this past weekend, 2 of my kids tested positive. And, I took them back after 10 days. And currently, my daughter still have it, and my son, he's negative now, but it's directly in my household itself.
Wow. How old are your kids?
So my oldest is 12, my youngest 2, my second oldest is 11, and my youngest is 8.
So what made you decide to get vaccinated if you didn't have no symptoms and you wasn't in a bad situation?
After having different conversations, spoke to a lot of different friends, a lot of different professionals I trust in the medical field. And one of the things that struck out to me, Paul, was the thing that, what was, a nurse told me that out of everybody that she's seeing in the hospital who's sick right now, very bad, she said one thing they all have in common when she look at their chart is they're none of them vaccinated.
Wow. Well, that's real though. That is real. You was telling me that while you was getting vaccinated, there was people in line heckling you guys.
Yep. And it was crazy. Yeah, so I was in line, and I had an African American, gentleman stop me, and he asked me, was I going to get vaccinated? And I was like, yeah. And his first reaction was, man, you're a fool, right? And I could have reacted. I could have reacted in a sense, but I was like, I wanted, what made you think I'm a fool, or why you said it? And we got into a more of a conversation, and then another African woman lady walked by, and he was like, man, let me ask you a question. Are you vaccinated? She was like, yep. And he completely told her she was a fool too. And she was the one that actually told us, like, most of the people that she's seeing in the hospital right now are, African American, Latino descent, and they all unvaccinated. They're the ones that's just going through it the most.
Rob, we want to take this online comment, Big Rob.
Yeah, they want to know, how do we know that when they're saying they're testing us, that they're not giving it to us or lying about our results either way?
I'll let you answer that, Marquis, because you from that generation, man. You from the younger generation, man. We OGs, you know what I mean? And when you hear that, what would you say? How do you trust them?
So I'm a firm believer. I believe in God, Paul. And I had another conversation with a good friend of mine. She's like, we eat food every day. And if the government wanted to do something to us and the stuff that we eat and drink, I'm pretty sure everybody ain't out there eating and taking natural remedies every day. We take medicine, that's not FDA approved at all. And we take a lot of this stuff on a normal basis. So, if they want to do something to us, they could have been did it to us.
Wow. My beautiful cousin down in Sweetport, Louisiana, Marion Harley, said, we are definitely suffering more from COVID. A prominent pastor here in Orlando passed over the weekend, Pastor Spencer, from COVID-19. What do you want to say, to those who are not going to get it, that's in your age bracket?
The thing I would say, Paul, is just for them to continue to do their research, right? And don't hesitate to continue to ask questions, and don't feel wrong for asking questions, right? But most important, one of the biggest things that stuck out to me, somebody gave me advice and said, you may be healthy, right? But not everyone that you come in contact may be healthy, right? And that struck with me and it stuck with me because I got elderlies in my household. I go out, I do a lot of work inside of the prisons, and a lot of those guys can't, they can't social distance. They have to be stuck around people on a normal days. So we just got to be a little considerate of other people, man, because again, everybody may not be so lucky as us, and think about it, a lot of us got kids. The kids it's not yet approved for them to even get vaccinated, so we could be putting our kids' life in danger. So it's definitely, got to be safe at all times. And if you're not going to get vaccinated, at least follow the CDC guidelines, wear a mask, continue to wash your hands, and just social distance as much as possible.
Now, Ty, here you come from an African perspective. You believe in herbs and things, other ways that can protect us, right?
Yeah, there's so many things we could do. I will say this, man. The planet is changing. It's a lot of money out here. Be comfortable. If you feel like you need to be vaccinated, go get vaccinated. You feel like you don't do it. Just make sure you're comfortable out here because the world is changing. A lot of positions are moving around. Literally, millionaires and billionaires happening. It's an exciting time. Be comfortable out here. You want to get vaccinated, please go get vaccinated so you can get into some of this paper. If you don't need it, stay out there, keep going. But take care of yourself, keep your immune system up. That's the bottom line. There's something out here that is definitely getting at the immune system. So keep your immune system up. You know the things to do to be healthy. Just make sure you're doing them. And that's where I'm at with it,
Hey, Ty, here I got to ask you a question because the woke community, you're hearing that you really can't be woke if you get vaccinated. Now you've been woke a long time ago. You know what I mean? You've been up long. So if anybody can answer that question, it would be you. Are me and Big Rob now we not woke anymore because we got vaccinated?
No, I think woke. That's a good one to use, but aware. If you're aware and aware of how you feel out here in the planet, and keep it 1,000 with yourself. It's people that hey, they don't trust me. I don't trust the government. I mean, last time they vaccinated people for free, Tuskegee had a outbreak. Black men were hit with it, with an outbreak, and it was the same. Hey, it's all good. We heard that. So some of us think we're not going for it, but that doesn't mean we're not taking care of ourselves. So you need to be aware. You know what I mean? More than just saying what you're not going to do. What are you going to do? And make sure that whatever you're going to do, keep it a stat with yourself, and know that, hey, all right, I'm not vaccinated. I'm doing this other thing. If people feeling uncomfortable about you, go where, like I say, be comfortable. Go where you're comfortable at. You got some people. I mean, it's a lot going on out here. You got no vaccinated signs. If you're not vaccinated, you can't come in this business. If you are vaccinated, you can't come in this business. You seeing a lot out here. So I would just say, man, be comfortable and enjoy the planet right now. It's a lot going on. Be comfortable and be aware. More than being woke, because you could be woke and be laying right in the bed.
Go ahead, Big Rob.
Be aware.
I did take the vaccine. For one, my wife was giving it. She has an MSN in nursing, so she was doing the vaccine clinic, for the radio station, free of charge.
Yeah.
And even of her doing that, just recently, I just got my son's blessing to be even able to talk about this publicly. Paul knew about it, but one of my sons caught COVID-19, and he just told me today he got a call from the health department and said that he had the Delta variant. So they wanted to track wherever he had been, when he caught it and all this other kind of stuff. And he told me, he said, when you sick and when something ain't right. He said, if you think it's COVID, you better go get tested. He is saying that he just told me just recently, just moments ago, he said, well, as soon as they clear me to get the vaccine, I'm going to get it. I don't care what people are saying. I don't care how they're saying it. He said, I live alone. I could have died and y'all wouldn't even know why I died.
Wow.
So
and Big Rob, he is, your son is a person that works out. He played football, college football.
Yeah,
very healthy.
Very healthy.
How many times did he go to the hospital?
Twice. One time he went to a hospital where he lives and he had a temperature of 107.
Yeah.
Now his mom said he's supposed to have been dead.
Yeah.
His mom said, if you can get out of there, go to another hospital, because they told him to go to the waiting room.
Woo, with 107.
That's the prime right there.
Okay, so he had to get in his car and drive another 15 minutes while on the phone with his mom to get to another hospital. And then once they got him in, they made him come back and they made him go into a room, and we were on the next thing smoking. I think I got to it. It usually take 2.5, 3 hours to get to where he was. It took me about 1 hour and 45 minutes to get there, because I was pushing that car to get to my child. Then once we got there, they made us, sit in a waiting room, which is fine. And then they came out finally and told us that we could not see our child. Even though he's an adult, he's living his own life and all that, we still couldn't see him. And then they let him go home.
Thanks for sharing that story. We got to get him on here. Marquis McKenzie in Orlando, Florida. Are people in your age bracket? What is the conversation for folks in your age bracket, Marquis?
To be honest with you, Paul, just be transparent, man. I rarely see conversations, and I think that's one of the biggest things that we have in the Black community. We lack and fear to even have conversations about certain stuff. We have our own personal opinions. Often, again, I'm gonna say opinions, right? And not too many of us have facts about stuff, and we leave it like that, right? So one of the things I'm trying to get into is trying to create conversations around the community, to talk about the facts, talk about the miscommunication. Not only that, for the ones who don't want it, but facts, offer information about them home remedies that they can take as well. And I think we can have the conversation there. And sometimes a lot of people would just be scared to talk about stuff. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people had COVID that was scared to even say that they had it. They didn't want to know how people react to it and stuff like that. So we're not even having those conversations, to be honest with you.
But one people we can talk to, and I have, is the funeral homes. Those numbers don't lie when the funeral homes are overcrowded, with running out of space because of our bodies. And that's the reason why, it's one of the reasons why I had to, the numbers don't lie. And the fact that I got this yellow fever vaccine that I had kids we had to get to go to Ghana. And I don't know what they put in there. It could be rabbit piss. I don't know. You know what I mean? But they say I needed it. I wanted to go to Ghana. I wanted to go home. And so I got it. And I found out that, you maybe you could have had another option, but they asked for that card or you ain't getting in. And it was some of our kids who got there and they still had to take another vaccine in Ghana. So I figured if I did this yellow fever thing, if they really want to kill black people, that would have been a top way because they know you only need yellow fever to go to the motherland.
Right.
So
another way that I look at it, Paul, is that it's a lot of stuff that's been happening around, in the world, and you see a lot of black people, I would say now, are waking up, right, and doing a lot of necessary things. And if you do want to just have a crazy theory out there, let's say that, if they wanted to, divide people or keep black people from rising, the first thing out there to do is put out a vaccine that they know we're going to reject because of history and what happened in the past. We definitely going to say no to it. And not what if it is something that we need? And guess what? If they still want to divide us and keep us from rising, a lot of us are suffering at a higher rate. So at the end of the day, whether you take it or not, it's still the same results that you're going to be getting or looking for in the end.
And the thing I look at too is that we take their flu vaccine, we take their other vaccines. We make our kids take these vaccines so that they can go into public schools. Now you're sitting there talking about, if they want to kill somebody, they can kill our babies very easily because they said for them to get into public school, you have to take this vaccine.
That's right.
So if they want to kill us, that's easily done. Okay, you go to the doctor, to get a booster shot or something like that, for whatever, tetanus or whatever.
Right.
They can kill you there.
You don't know
So,
what
I mean, just because COVID came out, and if you look at the history of stuff, polio, the flu, all that, they were shipping people in buildings and stuff on islands for the flu. Okay. People still take the flu vaccine. It was just as bad in killing people.
I'm going to Tahir and then coming back to you too, Marquis. Tahir, how do we get out of this mess, man?
Man, we gotta really, the big thing, we really need to get back into our herbs, man, because I just was listening to that. Like, I don't take the flu vaccine. My children never took it. I don't take any vaccine, but my herb game is up, and that's the difference. So, like, I thought I had the COVID, whatever this was in November 2019. I think I may have had it. I know I was sick real bad, and I did what I usually do, and in 2 days I was. And when I started hearing about all, I said, "Wow, those sound like the symptoms I had." But I'm good. I done traveled twice outside of the country. Good. And I think about it. I say, well, wow, what am I doing different? Well, my herb, I don't go to Walgreens. I don't go there. Like, why would I think they got my back? Big farmers, big bread. I wouldn't, I keep you coming back if I was them. I keep you coming back. You know what I mean? That's the name of the game. Keep them coming back.
When I was selling dope, that's what I wanted them to do. Keep coming back.
The trap. That's the trap.
Right.
The trap house.
Okay.
So Tahir, what do you take, Tahir? What do you do?
Some things you can do. First of all, one thing that this one guy, I think everybody saw this video, and it makes sense now, especially about the way that they even test for COVID. The neti pot. Neti pot is a very that's a method where you put you could use orange peels, ginger, citrus, put it in a pot, let it boil, put a towel over your head, and inhale that air for about 10 minutes. That will.
Oh man, that's too much work, man. I can just go to the Walgreens and get a pill, bro.
Get a Benadryl.
Yeah, bro. Well, why I need to do all that? That's just too much work, man. That's why you woke people. Y'all look so healthy because y'all work a lot.
Too much extra effort.
Yeah. Orange peels, I throw mine in the garbage.
Like,
here's my secret, Ty. Here's mine, and you know it, Tahir, and Big Rob know. I use the sinus rinse.
Yeah. The
Similar,
sinus, like, we gotta
similar philosophy. Sinus rinse, and I play it safe. I don't do a bunch of people on the inside, inside gatherings, and I
and we
make
got
sure I sanitize my hand, and when I touch things,
right.
sanitize my hand. Sanitize become my best friend, and that's playing it safe. And I left the country maybe 5 or 6 times now. I
Easy,
traveled to at least 6, 7 states, taking a
easy,
test 23 times,
easy.
and literally, but being safe.
Yeah.
Marquise, how do we get out of this mess, man? How do we do it?
I definitely just got to go back to Tahir, man, and we got to be transparent with ourselves, right? How many people we know and that can be honest to say that they got their vitamins and, you know what I'm saying, taking care of themselves on a normal basis, doing all this natural stuff, right? I'm 31 years old. I'm just learning about natural remedies. What they tell you, my family raised us on medicine, right? And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other people in my generation that ain't doing natural remedies. And some of that stuff is expensive, you know, and we sometimes won't even have the necessary to be able to keep a lot of that stuff. So I think that's most important. Be comfortable and be transparent with yourself. Like, if you know you ain't healthy, and, you know, go to the doctor. Sometimes people haven't even been to the doctor until they catch the flu or feel like they got COVID. So I think this woke us up as a race itself to let we learn how to take care of ourselves, no matter what, COVID or not.
Right. Darren Flowers down in Miami says, how are they giving free vaccination for COVID, but not insulins and other shots? Something isn't right, and Black people are starting to notice. Only problem is we don't know how to protect ourselves with diet and herbs. Way to go, Darren, producer. Big Rod, you want to take this one right here from Antoine Platt?
Antoine Platt says, but you know what though? That's the reason why our people are so broken now, because there are those who do what the Lord tells them to do, and there are those who don't.
Here's another one from him.
Antoine Platt says, in my opinion, people don't have the answer. God does. And he did then, as he did then.
All right. Thank you. Marquise, man, thank you for being transparent, because you didn't have to do this, man, because I know in that culture where you at, it's not the most popular thing. I know that. So me and Big Rob, we can do it because we over the hill, man. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna die. I know my day coming soon anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. We got more years behind us than we do in front of us.
Exactly. So, you know, we like, hey, I'm definitely not making no more kids. So, hey, what can they do? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but for you,
no,
you're
I can
31.
tell you what, I do feel comfortable. Yeah.
Go ahead. I hope we didn't lose you, Marquise. Go ahead. I think we lost you for a second. Go ahead, though.
No, I was saying I do feel more comfortable than I was now. You know, to be honest, I go out in different large crowds still, you know, and of course I have my mask, but, you know, just past weekend, you know, I go like, all right, I'm vaccinated. You should have seen me the whole time at the event. I'm smiling. Nobody can even see me smiling, but they don't know I'm smiling behind this mask because I feel good that I'm vaccinated, and most of them probably not. Some of them are, but, you know, I felt good about it and just, you know, felt safe and stuff.
That's good, man. Thank you for all you do. You are an inspiration. We got to get him back again to tell his story again, because he has a heck of a story for those just seeing Marquis McKenzie for the first time. Just go on Google. You know, just go on Google, go on Bing, and type in his name and Florida Rights Restoration. He's part of a big movement here in Orlando, and got his own company. Go ahead and get your telephone number out to your company if people want to utilize your service.
Definitely, they can definitely visit our website, the dirtmasters with the s.com, and the phone number is 407-406-9640.
All right, family. Thanks for joining the conversation. Going back to more music.